Yeah, this is Judy Arnold, and you're listening to Derby Rocks.
Yo.
She's the hottest little deal on 8 wheels, bird like a babe out of hell. Jamming in a blocker and a little skull knocking, it's enough to make a grown man yell. Go, roller girl, look at that girl roll. Roller derby saved my soul.
Surprise, we are live and in studios. It's your old pals Cash and Shram. We are happy to be here. It's a beautiful Friday night in sunny Rochester. Woo-hoo. And as always, we are joined by you, our friends, fans, listeners, and people who forgot to change the station on 106.3
yeah.
WRFZ here in Rochester. Hey, Cash.
Hey,
what's going on, man?
Happy episode 525.
Sure, 525. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We are just moving right along.
Yeah,
it's pretty crazy. That's we're almost, I don't know, through a whole nother year, because I think I joined like officially right around November. So that's, you know, coming right up. Another anniversary for us to celebrate.
Yeah.
Oh boy, lots of these shows. Can you believe it? Every
Incredible.
Friday.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we've got a special one today.
Yeah,
you know?
it's going to be a good one. It's been a little while since we've had our friend Erica Van Stone, right?
Yeah.
Erica Van Stone on the show. This will be like the third time I think we've had them on.
I think it was 200 was the last time. It was like, I think it
was like a special episode.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly which one. So this is.
It may have been 300, but even though that's still over 200 to go.
Yeah, it's been a little while. Yeah.
You know,
so no, it'll be great. Erica has a new book coming out called "Don't Let Them Eat the Baby," a roller derby memoir. We're going to talk all about that. We're going to catch up. We're going to talk about like what roller derby looks like for them these days, because if I'm not mistaken, they've been around a while. They've been there. They've done that. Former executive director of the WFTDA. So yeah, it's going to be a great episode.
Yeah.
I am back from Summer Affair. I've had a busy week, and I'm excited to actually talk about what I have going on this weekend. That'll be kind of a funny story / surprise for some people. I'm excited to see you. I'm excited to catch up. And then, you know, we're going to have, it's going to be cool. My friend Jugs Bunny, who we've had on the show before, is coming into town. She has like a class going on Saturday for her job. So I think she's going to be coming with us on Thursday. And,
cool.
And you, me, Double N, Anderson, and Jugs are going to go check out the State Fair and have a great day. So I think we've gone like 2 times before, right? The first time we saw a cow literally fall out of its mother.
Oh yeah.
And then the second time we were a little disappointed because we did not. So
yeah.
We'll see how we fare this weekend or next
fair.
week rather.
Yeah. Butter sculptures.
Sure. Always good for some chalky milk in the butter sculpture.
Oh
Come
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
You know, I will say we are for people that don't know, every year the New York State Fair is in Syracuse, New York, which is like an hour and a half from us.
Yeah.
And it is really special. It's huge. There's a ton going on. It's cheap, family friendly.
Yeah.
Great entertainment. I mean, there's like free concerts all throughout the like 2 weeks of the fair.
Yeah.
Like big names and stuff too.
The day we're there. They were there. Cheap Trick is at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, we're gonna see Cheap Trick at 6, then we'll see like AJR at 8.
Yeah.
That'll be
AJR
exciting.
filling in for the Steve Miller, who's too scared to come out.
Yeah, because the weather's too weird. Global warming has made Steve Miller and the Steve Miller Band retreat from touring.
Bizarre. Yeah.
It's very weird, but honestly, it's a great fill-in for me. I'm excited.
Yeah,
like, AJR is a great band.
AJR had a big concert, was it 2 years ago, and they had to cancel at Canandaigua, and they had like just about sold out the place.
Sure.
So they've never been back here since then.
Well,
so.
no, that'll be exciting. I'm looking forward to it, and it's like $8 to get in. You know,
yeah.
And you could literally spend all day there. We don't, but we spend like half the day there. So
go through the 4-H barns and stuff.
And there's like big animatronic dinosaurs. So it's going to be cool. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, that coming up and everything. But yeah, that's it's that time of year where it's like you can see the I'm not going to say the end of summer, but school starts in a couple
Sure,
weeks.
yeah, school start. I mean, what Labor Day is like right around the corner. We're literally like 2 weeks away from Labor Day.
Yeah.
So
fantasy football.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Champ. You're the champ, defending champ of the announcers league.
I think, didn't I come in second place last year?
I think it said first when I was going through it.
You might be right.
Yeah. But there's no money involved.
I was going to say there was. I am glad that we do it because it's fun, but it is unremarkable because it is $0 in my pocket. And yeah, but
so when it's money, cool. It's good.
Yeah,
you definitely remember.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm certainly gonna do some different things or some different leagues this year. I don't know if I'll do my Angry Goat League. I've done like 4 years of the Angry Goat League, and one way or another, somebody like just forgets, or one of my buddies just like moved away literally. And I end up losing money because I got to pay out or whatever.
Sure.
So I don't know if I'm going to be a commish or anything this year, but I am definitely looking forward to Sundays of football.
It's coming.
And fantasy football, of course, is.
I mean, it started, 2 weeks ago or 1 week ago? So it's like, have you seen any of the Hard Knocks with the Bills?
I watched the first episode.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. It's great to see.
I like, there's some funny things that they focus on. So I think it's neat when you see some of second episode's pretty good too. So
sure. Yeah. I mean, it's nice to see him like being goofy and kind of, or, being extremely serious. I forget who it was. I think it might've been like Trey White or something like that. But like after a crazy hot practice, cause those practices were all like 90 degrees, he literally went and like ran up the hills,
because he's coming back. He's
coming back from an injury. He knows he's fighting for that. That job basically. So crazy to see him, running up hills after a 2-hour practice or whatever.
They focused on the guy Hamlin who had the little kid's scooter that was like couldn't get it to work.
He couldn't figure out he bought the wrong scooter. Very clearly.
There's some funny stuff in the second episode, and then Andreessen, who's the Buffalo
Buffalo Joe or
Buffalo
whatever they
Joe.
call him.
Yeah, Andreessen. It's interesting behind the scenes stuff. I always love that stuff. You can look at, everyone loves Josh Allen and everything, but
how can you not? You're always going to see like Josh Allen clips, but there was a couple of clips, like one of them he is running to like go either to start practice or end practice or move from one field to the other or whatever. And he sees like a group of service people, and he like definitely stops and takes his hat off and shakes all of their hands. There's another clip where he is same scenario, running somewhere, sees a group of developmentally disabled adults and stops and makes sure he gives them love, and he like remembers their names from meeting them before.
The one guy's like, "You don't remember?" He goes, "Yes, I do."
He's
and then
like, "Yes, I do,"
because he knows he likes golf or something.
Right? He called him by his name. It was just really cool. And like, how can you not just root for a guy like that?
And now I see him in commercials on everything. So he's
got a Pepsi commercial.
It's Snickers
new,
now
new
too.
MVP Pepsi or whatever. It's pretty wild.
It's fun. We love football, but it's like the Buffalo Bills are Western New York's team, and we all attach onto it, and they've been so good for the last few years.
And I'm not gonna lie, I've become, and I'm so on board. I'm a Bears fan for the most part originally, and I still am. But like, it's just so hard to not like root for these guys and see the the fun that they've had, and then you've got like the stories like the DeMar Hamlin stuff and Buffalo Joe even like great stories. Trey White coming back, stuff like that. So it's just hard not to be all in on Buffalo teams, and especially with how good they are. So I'm really hoping that this is the year that we can kind of break the curse. Well,
hopefully, I don't know how many years in a row we can be this good and not do it. So it's like,
I mean, they Josh Allen is literally the only football player to have won as many playoff games as he has and not make it to a Super Bowl or whatever.
Been close twice,
rather. So that's a pretty wild stat. But welcome to Derby, Rocz, and football.
It's just been a little bit. It's like I guess as of 2 weeks ago, every weekend until January.
We got football. Pretty much right up until the week before the Super Bowl, and then even then, do they do the Pro Bowl or
I don't remember.
I can't remember if it's before or after the Super Bowl anymore.
I don't even even know if they do it anymore, but I know that
It's
it
like
used to be.
they do like two-hand touch now, or
Yeah.
whatever, flag football or whatever, and like
Yeah.
skills contests.
Yeah, so definitely, yeah. And they're even not even sure they're going to do that this year, so we'll see. But it's and it's like it's media week they call it, so
Right.
it's like a lot of
Sure.
focused stuff going on.
Yeah.
But it's exciting. But and that's kind of like the Bills do train here in Rochester, so
Yeah.
I'm a Washington fan, you know that. But
Yeah.
I do love both teams. So
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about this year coming up. But yeah, it's been a lot of that stuff this past week. So
Why don't you? Because I know we're going to have a great interview, and I have a lot. Let's get to your week, but first I'm going to say today has been like a pretty nice day.
Yeah.
It's been warm. We are in the thick of August,
Yeah.
so like, of course, it's been warm.
Yeah.
The last couple of days not so horrible. Some other days are pretty
Tomorrow
horrible.
will be.
Yeah, tomorrow's probably going to be a little bit warm.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
That is your Rochester weather
There you
report.
go. Hey,
Thank you.
Rochester weather on the weeks.
Yes,
on the
yeah.
11s. No, I will say that tomorrow obviously is the last B-sides Rock City Roller
Nice.
Derby game of the year.
Sure.
And obviously it's got to be 90.
Yeah.
Because they.
Yeah, because you're going to still do your gimmick no matter what.
Yeah,
So, of course,
so
they're going to torture you.
I'll
for
suffer
that.
it one more time.
Yeah,
I do.
yeah.
I love to do it for the love of the sport.
Yeah, go check out Rock City Roller Derby and the Rochester Area Junior Roller Derby. They got a great day of roller derby planned at the
Yeah.
Dome Arena tomorrow. What time does it all start?
First game's at 2:30.
Okay.
The B-sides play at 6. So it's
Very
there's
cool.
3 games. There's a scrimmage. I think New England juniors team is coming in. I think it's
Okay.
New England.
Very
So
cool.
yeah.
There's 2 juniors games, and
Yeah.
then we got the B-sides
Yeah.
at 6.
And if you're out of the market and you want to watch, I know that it'll be streaming on the Rock City Roller Derby YouTube page.
Nice.
So
Very cool.
you won't hear me, but you may hear me. It's really,
Like
really quiet in the
really
background.
faintly in the background, yeah.
We'll figure that out one of
Making
these
bad
days.
jokes, maybe.
Yeah,
right?
I'm
yeah.
sure making bad jokes. So, but
course.
Fifi's going to be helping out too.
That's
She's
cool.
Good.
Yeah,
Fifi's,
she's back from Summer Affair with some experience.
yeah. Did some announcing at
Yeah,
Summer
yeah.
Fair?
There was like a lot of Rochester folks who did some announcing
Awesome.
over the weekend. Yeah. Tell me about your week, Cash.
I will, real
Stop changing
quickly.
the subject.
Sorry. Okay, I will. Let's see. Not much. I wasn't in town here last weekend. We had this big concert called the Hoochie-Nanny. I may have mentioned it on last
Yeah,
week's
you
show.
said you wanted to go. What you ended up going for day 3, it sounds like?
Day 3. It
Who was playing?
There was a band called Galactic, a band called Mo,
Sure.
and a band
Mo's pretty
called
popular.
Dark Star Orchestra.
Yeah.
And it was fun. It was like
Dark Star, they're like a big like hippy dippy band.
yeah,
right?
yeah, very Grateful Dead. Okay,
Sure.
so they play it. But the interesting thing is, my brother really wanted to go, so I brought him with me. And when we parked, we were walking, and it was like forever from where we
Sure.
parked. And so this guy pulls up in a little golf cart and goes, "I'll give you a ride."
Good.
And I said, "Thank you, thank you very much." And he gave us a ride. And he's talking to us as we're going. And he goes, "And by the way, I'm the promoter. I'm the one who thought this whole thing up."
Nice.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I said, "Well, that's cool. You're out helping us." I was hoping we were going to find him when we had to go back at the end, but we did not find him.
Did
though.
not, yeah.
But no, it was a good time. I had
very cool.
friends there. I did not really connect with, unfortunately, because
Sure.
I am half deaf, and there was a million people there. So.
Yeah.
But
doubt.
it was called the Hoochie-Nanny because they were serving bourbon, or I think it was like all different
like
kinds,
whiskey and stuff
all
like
different
that,
tastings
yeah.
and stuff. So that's
spirits.
yeah, but with the name like Hoochie-Nanny, you just never know what it could be
Sure,
about. So Joan
sure.
Jett had played Saturday night.
Yeah.
I guess Lou Graham had played as well.
Sure.
And
Rochester native.
yeah, there we go. And he played, and also Andy Kim was playing. It was interesting. There were some interesting bands, but it was a lot of fun, and that was a blast. And then after that, I was kind of dealing with a head cold, and it was like,
Sure.
and that was most of the week this week. I
That's
was
a
like,
bummer.
because this hay fever is like terrible here because we've had no rain and it's been 90 a bunch of days in a row, and so all the grass is drying up, and we need rain really bad. It's just we're way below our average. So I ended up having, hay fever on top of a head cold, and I ended up being out of work a couple of days, came back on Thursday, and it's like the week's over. So we're here to talk about roller derby. What about you? How was you? I know
Nothing else. You got nothing else. That's it.
I've got nothing else.
All
Nothing
right,
else.
That's fair.
Absolutely nothing.
No, so it's cool. Mom was in town. You forgot to mention on Thursday we went to a party in the park, and we went and saw Andy Frasco.
Yeah, yeah.
That was cool for me, spending time with Mom, getting out. Frasco's great. It's not like my typical kind of music, you know. They're also very like hippie or like folk and blues kind of stuff.
Did a little jam bandish
Yeah,
stuff.
a little jam bandy stuff here and there, but no, I'm a big Andy Frasco fan, and it was cool to actually get out to like a real concert with my mom. You know, we've been to like the carnival where there's a local band playing in the beer tent or something like that, or things like that. But you know, Frasco's like a pretty huge touring national artist, so really cool to like get out with a mom to a real show, and of course Anderson and you, and nice to get out. Friday we headed right to Summer Affair. We got there pretty reasonably. We got there. I didn't participate. If you've been listening, or if you know, I've been dealing with like some back pain, back injuries, had a nerve block, that whole bit. I did not participate in any of the clinics. I did a fair amount of watching. We were there for most of the day on Friday for the clinics, and did, kind of pick up on stuff and kind of audit it. So I was definitely paying attention and saw some cool stuff. But I did not participate because my goal was to make it through the weekend. I was lucky enough to do so. There were good games, but, it was Anderson's first Summer Affair, and just the coolest guy in the room.
Yeah.
Really great. A ton of friends from Western New York, a ton of friends from other places. Again, there's probably like 30 people who have been on the show, from the best in the world, and some
Spin.
that are and some that are not the best in the world but still very talented, or have great stories, or whatever the case is. It's great to kind of see quite the spectrum, and tons of friends from, like I said, Western New York, Queen City, Syracuse. Sweetie was there. I got to catch up with Sweetie, who we haven't,
Virginia, right?
Somewhere like that, West Virginia, even maybe. Great to see her and catch up with her. A lot of people got to like meet the baby. She was able to meet the baby, of course. So yeah, it's just really cool getting to do things that he's never going to remember. Yeah, but it's important for us. Sure. And it's really cool, and everybody loves him. Susie, who we Susanna Scoris Rex, who we've had on the show, she is so funny. She is not very much a kid person, but she was like so obsessed with him, and she was like, I think he's lived like 1 million lives already. And she's just like, she has like fascinating theories about my son. Yeah. It is. It's very, she's like, he's so smart. And I do my best to just be like, oh, thank you. But like inside, I'm like, yes, I know. Tell me more about this beautiful boy. Yeah. And he's just such a delight, and so happy, and people, and he doesn't like shy away from people. He doesn't get miserable when somebody wants to hold him, somebody had one of those like big inflatable couches that kind of look like a vulva, you know what I mean? I don't know how to describe those things.
I know what you mean.
And like a friend who we see once a year was like, oh, come on, put him over here. And like, he just cooled out, and lots of people who we don't run into a ton, so stuff like that's cool. And then we got like Spencer Sleep and his partner and their baby were there, and then Killa and Ube and their kids were there. So we had like the Western New York and Canada like daycare center going on in one area of the venue. Just awesome, man. Like I said, good games. Good weekend, just so much fun being around that kid and seeing everybody else love on him and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
He is going to at least he's likely going to be weird just based on who his parents are, but he's going to at least be social and reasonably.
Takes great pictures, too.
Yeah. So cute. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Even just like putting them in. We were literally at Sheets in Erie, and I put him in that high chair or whatever you want to call it, the booster seat or whatever, and he was just so happy, and he took a great picture. And it's unbelievable how happy and how good looking this kid is, considering I'm his dad. I love myself a lot, but it's unbelievable how good looking this kid is.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful boy. So I'm just so in love. Being a dad is the coolest thing. It's really cool watching Double N be a mom too. Yeah. That's like a really great part.
Oh, yeah.
I had no doubt that she was going to be great at it, but kind of seeing it in person is another thing.
Oh, yeah.
And it doesn't like surprise anybody either. Like I was talking with Sweetie and she's like, how's everything? And I was like, we're having a great time. She's a great mom. And she was like, oh, I'm so shocked. Of course, being sarcastic because of course Double N's a great mom. Why wouldn't she be?
Sure.
She's been taking care of roller derby idiots since 2016 pretty much. So, yeah, other than that, it's kind of been we went to the beach after on Sunday too. We did hit up the beach party. Myself, Double N, and Dick was with us. So we went to the beach for like an hour. Ooh, excuse me. The baby got to like touch sand and then touched the lake for his first time. He likes water. So he was, ooh, yikes. So sorry. Yeah. Gross. He was very excited to splash around. He loves pools. He loves even baths or taking a shower and stuff like that. So he was very excited to splash around. Got to spend more time with Mom. Took her back to the airport on Wednesday. Always good to have her in town. The dogs and Anderson gets to spend time with her. Of course we do. We love it. Yeah. It's good for everybody. Great to see Anderson have some fun with his grandma and get to have her around. Great to get out to that concert like I had mentioned. Yeah. Regular work week. Last night I did work Dirks Bentley out at Darien Lake Live Nation.
Country music.
Yeah, for sure. It was actually pretty okay. I don't hate Dirks Bentley. I don't love the music, but as far as some country goes, it's not horrible. And he's like a pretty decent dude. It was fine. Yeah. Not too much to report. Uneventful. There was like 10,500 or something like that. So it wasn't a sellout, but it wasn't, undersold or anything like that either. Busy weekend ahead. We're going to wrap up. I'm going to head home here, get some dinner going. Tomorrow we're going to do some family stuff. Double N has some of her family in town. So that's where she is currently, if I'm not mistaken, or at least headed back into the city. Sure. She spent some time with them earlier because, she's got family strewn about everywhere. So when they get together, we try and go out there.
Sure. Everybody wants to see the baby.
Of course, and everybody wants to see or meet the baby. Yeah. So it's awesome. But the fun thing that I am excited to share is about this Sunday. I'm actually headed to the Bills Stadium, and I am going to participate in a punt, pass, and kick contest.
Really?
Yeah. So,
what'd you tell him? You're 12?
No. So it's a Bud Light and Buffalo Bills sponsored contest. So I've already won like a prize in the sense that I get to go and participate in this. So that's
awesome.
You won this contest, but now you get to go do like sports ball stuff and do another contest. You can win like tickets, and there's two prizes. The first prize is tickets, and like $1,000, and then the second prize is just tickets. Which either way, if
tickets are good,
I'll take 2 tickets.
Yeah.
I think
give me
like
season
VIP.
tickets at the new stadium next year.
Sure, yeah, wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, but no, I think it's just really cool. I have no illusions about the fact that I'm going to go out there and just crush it or anything like that. But we did, myself, Rad, and Dick did do some like throwing and kicking. I bought a football.
There you go.
So I could practice a little bit.
Nice.
So it's goofy, but it's cool. We get to go take the baby to the stadium, go down on the field, and I get to throw the football around on the Bills Stadium.
Awesome.
You know what I mean? I think that's really cool, and I get to try and kick field goals and stuff like that. So with the potential to win some money, but it'll be neat to
that's
take
very
the
cool.
baby and just be there. So that is.
I've been on the field once, and it was at a concert. It was
I was there.
Monsters of Rock in 1988, I think 89. Yeah,
sure. Mine's a little bit more recent. I think it was Garth Brooks in 2022.
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago. That's right. I remember you had those close seats.
Yeah, it was really unbelievable, and so I have great memories of the stadium.
Yeah,
I've been to 2 games. We went to the one. Yeah. So it'll be cool to kind of get to go down on the field before they move across the way to the new stadium. So lots of cool stuff. It's been great. Not too much to complain about at all. Just always busy, but that is not always a bad thing. It keeps me out of trouble.
It's for sure.
Awesome. Well, why don't we go ahead and hit a break? We're going to come back and we're going to talk to Erica Van Stone, I think with Philly Roller Derby currently.
I'm not sure.
We're going to find out. It's been so long. So I'm excited. Stick around. You're listening to Derby Rocks on 106.3 WRFZ.
pushing out what you're never getting back. And all that's left is a version of the truth.
Welcome back to Derby Rocks. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. It is episode 525, and it's going to be a great one. Erica Van Stone is joining us, and we are excited to have them. They have a new book coming out called Don't Let Them Eat the Baby, a roller derby memoir. And it's been a little while since we've spoken. How are you?
I am doing well. Thanks for having me on the show.
Of course. You know, this is the first time as an author we've had you on as, you know, a skater and executive director, and now we're just, you're like a Pokemon. You're evolving.
You know what? I didn't think of it that way, but now that you mention it, that's it's apt.
Yeah. I sort of dig that reference for you. That's awesome. Let's get right into it, though. I appreciate your time. Why don't you give us like the short version of your origin story and how you got involved in wheelie sports?
Oh my goodness. Well, that is what most of the book is about. But the first chapter kind of shows how I stumbled into my very first roller derby game in Camden, New Jersey in 2006. And I walked into a roller skating rink that one of my friends was skating in her first game for what was then Philly Roller Girls and is now Philly Roller Derby. And I had an equal part horror and love. I was like, what am I looking at? And also immediately smitten. So from there, I started announcing, and then eventually went on to referee, and then to be a skater. So as I like to say, I did what probably most people do backwards. I started as an announcer, then went to referee, then went to skate.
I love it. Awesome. You mentioned, well, first let me say in 2006, roller derby looked a lot different than it does in 2025. So yeah, I'd imagine there could have been like pillow fights or a penalty wheel or any number of wild things that no longer really exist unless you're in like Texas, you know? So I understand the confusion or the culture shock. Absolutely.
Yeah, there were, well, it's funny too, because some of the things that I was kind of writing about and remembering at the same time was the lack of safety gear for officials, right? So yeah. I was like, am I remembering this right? I'm pretty sure that the jammer referees had cowboy hats on, but that can't be. And yeah, it absolutely was. There was a lack of gear, and yes, penalty wheels.
Yeah. Are you telling me fishnets don't protect people? No, I'm kidding.
Oh my goodness, the number of times that I learned how wrong that was.
Right. Love that. Have you been to the Camden Aquarium recently?
Not recent. Maybe like 5 years ago. But okay. Yeah, I used to go all the time. My son is 17 now, but when he was a kid, we used to go all the time.
Nice. I was just there in July, I think. It's one of the only places on this coast, I think, that you can see hippos.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I love those hippos. So
they're pretty great.
Yeah, awesome.
Wait a second. You mentioned Catman there. Is he still playing?
He's not, but he is in the book, and we talk about how he is not only a skater but also was an announcer, and so he's on the cover of the book as well with me, which is kind of hilarious because I want him to do a recreation of it because I got the inspiration. The art was done by Charlie Layton, who used to do all of Philly Roller Derby's ECDX posters back in the day.
Oh yeah, it reminded me of that. Yeah.
Yeah, the inspiration for it was the poster art for the movie Baby Boom with Diane Keaton from the 80s. And it's, an executive holding a baby. And this is me, a roller derby skater holding a baby. And I think my son is like 2 years old in the artwork, and now he's 17. So it would be funny to try to recreate it now.
That would be a good picture, though.
It might be a little too big for you to hold them like that,
Yeah, he would have to carry me, probably.
That'd be good, too.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, what's new? What does roller derby look like for you these days?
So I haven't been doing much roller derby, and it's funny because I wrote this book and I was thinking about how a lot of folks have retired from the sport and trying to figure out like what my out game was, right? What my offboarding from roller derby was going to look like. And in the process of writing this book, I did a ton of research and I talked to a lot of people. Like I talked to Amy Sherman, aka Electra Blue from Texas. I talked to Hydra, that the famous Hydra Trophy is named after.
Yeah.
And of course, Bloody Mary, and a lot of different folks about this. And so in the process of getting back into that place where I was remembering all of this stuff and writing about it, I said, it'd be really fun to kind of go around to roller derby events to talk about this book and to speak to people and ask them what their experience is like. And so my publisher and I, Banana Pitch Press, we went to World Cup in Innsbruck, and then immediately after we went to RollerCon. So I really had a blast, and it was hilarious because I don't think I've actually seen a team eat the baby or attempt to eat the baby since probably 2010, 2009, maybe a little later, maybe more 2012. But it happened like 4 times at World Cup. And then, of course, as one does, while I was there, I accidentally fell into announcing a game or two of roller derby on the broadcast.
Of course,
and,
that's how it goes.
Yeah, Dork Mistress kind of broke me back in, and I don't know if I'll be able to get out of it. So you might hear me again in the near future.
Okay, now you didn't bring your skates, did you?
No, so I stopped playing roller derby, I want to say 2024, 2023, because I was getting to a point where I was like, I've been doing this for 10 years. I don't know how long my luck is going to hold out. I had fortunately not ever broken anything. And although there is one particularly bloody moment that you will read in the book about when I get my nose split open. Oof. But I felt really lucky. And I was like, you know what? I wanted to get this sport back up and running. I wanted to play another game or two. I did some coaching. And then I was like, you know what? I think I'm good.
Sure.
So I skate for fun now.
Awesome. I love that. Well, let's go back to the beginning, I guess, not necessarily of your derby career, but of the conception of the book. How long did you want to write a book? When did you come up with the idea? Tell us a little bit about the process and its like birth, basically.
I think it's really funny because I didn't necessarily start out wanting to write this book. So in COVID, when I was running the WFTDA, trying to get a sport through an international global pandemic, I was really trying to figure out how to keep myself sane. And one of the things that I would, honestly, I was on the computer for hours every day. And I know that COVID kind of did that to a lot of us. But I was talking to people all over the world every single day about what COVID rates were looking like for pretty much 2 years straight. And so in order to kind of keep myself,
sane,
rooted in reality, sane,
sure. Yeah.
I started writing science fiction. So I wrote a book, and then I wrote the sequel, and I just kept writing and writing and writing and writing. And so coming out of COVID, I started talking to a bunch of other writers, and I went to this writers conference in New York City, and met a few folks who are still my good friends. Actually, my friend Alora is a TikTok influencer who's also coming out with a memoir this fall. She and I met there, and she's a fantasy writer who has this incredible book about dragons, and I wrote about space pirates. So we were both in this place where we were like, well, what is going to catch on? Like, how do you become a writer? And what we heard that weekend in New York was like, listen, you might write 6 books and the sixth one might be the one that you get published, not the first. So if you're a writer, you have to be prepared, and any kind of artist, you have to be prepared to do the project for the project's sake. And if somebody likes it, that's awesome. So she and I were kind of batting a bunch of ideas around, and I was like, I kind of feel like I have a nonfiction story in me. And I think like the thing that's unusual or unique about me is that I have done everything in the sport of roller derby. I helped build it. I helped get us on ESPN, and then I took us back off. I got us through a pandemic. And so I've done all of these really weird things in and around roller derby. And I was like, maybe there's a story in that. And so I pitched it actually to the woman who eventually became my agent. And she was like, for nonfiction, it's different. For nonfiction, you pitch a book and you don't have to have written it. You just kind of say, this is what I want to do. But she looked at me and she goes, okay, great, write it. And I was like, oh, crap.
She like called your bluff, huh?
There you go.
I was like, okay, fine.
Okay.
But there's nothing like a good kick in the butt other than an agent being like, hey, I'm interested, but you have to give me something first. So the rest is history.
Nice. I'm now obsessed with getting my hands on your space pirate book. Will you give me like will you give me like the brief like Cliff Notes like synopsis or just like the description? I'm so obsessed with this already.
Yeah. Okay, wait. Now I have to find my so I spent so much time like literally crafting the pitch, right?
Yes.
That I feel like I have to give you. Okay. Are you ready? I'll give
I
you
can't
like
wait.
my announcers.
Right.
my
Yes.
announcers
Let's do
read
it.
of
This
too.
is awesome. I'm so excited.
Okay. Iona of Arkin is a 21-year-old interstellar pirate who inherited her father's mishmash of a vessel, the Cleveland Phoenix. Her late human father, Cassander of Arkin, now grown, Iona longs to help relocate her adoptive people, a warrior clan whose trinary star is dying. Before she can, she picks up a hitchhiker whose gleaming cargo has piqued the interest of the system's de facto police, the Serpent's Communion, and a vengeful captain. Can Iona find a way to save her people and her corner of the galaxy before it's too late?
Sounds like a movie.
I love that. Yeah, that's like a Coheed and Cambria album. Yeah.
There you go.
Great.
There you go.
No, that's unbelievable. I would absolutely read that.
But also, like, it's like when I first started writing it, it was like 100,000 words, right? Like that's a
a lot.
That's a long book.
Yeah, that's a big book. That's fair. Let's talk about like your process. Are you like a note taker, then you polish it? Are you talk into a tape recorder and then go back and clean it up? What's like the best way for you to write and get everything in its polished form, I guess?
You know what? I actually think that when I first started out, like 3 years ago, I think I had that same sort of glimmer in my eye that most writers do, right? Where I was like, I'm gonna write the best writing a writer has ever written, right? Like you're so focused on the craft of the sentences and the words and the language that you're not necessarily always focused on the story. And I think what I've learned through writing Don't Let Them Eat the Baby is that the craft of writing is actually in the editing. It's in the rewriting, because you might have like a super stellar idea, but you're going to have to go over it again and again and again to sort of sharpen it. It's like a piece of clay, right? Like you're constantly trying to refine it, make the curves a little nicer, cleaner lines. And so I think that I was under the impression that being a strong writer was about immediately coming out with a perfect product and having like an agent or an editor pick it up and go, this is amazing. And then I realized, like, I rewrote this book 4 times. And it was only in the last edit where I was like, yes, this is the book. This is the book that I've been trying to write this whole time. So I would say like the process for me has been constantly refining it, reshaping it, having people look at it, thinking about it, trying to flip it on its head. And then I actually ended up cutting like half the book to get it to where it is. And it really made the book way stronger.
Nice. Have you found any aspect of writing to be particularly tough for you, or with Don't Let Them Eat the Baby specifically? Has there been a struggle to get it finished, or something that you found particularly difficult in the process?
Well, Banana Pitch Press and I gave ourselves like an impossible timeline, actually.
Well, that'll be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Michelle Kitcherer, who's the owner and founder of Banana Pitch Press, she is also a writer, and I met her because she offers and still continues to offer this amazing memoir writing class, and so I was working with her. So she was actually around for the beginning of the memoir coming into being, because I worked with her a little bit in that class, and then I actually ended up hiring her to help like look at my edit, right? So that's the other thing I would say is I really felt strongly that I wanted to have kind of like an accountability buddy.
Nice.
And I call Michelle she was my memoir nanny, but you know, she has so many great projects who came to her for Banana Pitch, and she felt really strongly that what I was doing with Don't Let Them Eat the Baby was the right project at the right time. So in January, when the Trump administration came into office, I was talking to her and I was kind of like, I don't know if I have time or if roller derby or if women have time for this book to be pitched by my agent again, and then have an editor pick it up, and then if it went to traditional publishing route, it would probably be a 2-year turnaround. So I might not even see this book come out until 2027 or 2028 if we went that route. Michelle was like, well, let's do it. Let's get it out in the fall. So January 2025, she molded over and came back and was like, yeah, I think we should do this book. And so we set ourselves the impossible timeline of trying to get it out by the fall, but we somehow made it happen.
Nice.
That's awesome. The book is obviously your memoirs, but also it's got a good grasp on the history of roller derby too, and I think that's how it was pitched a bit. So I think that's fantastic, because nobody, well, first of all, has written anything like that, and second of all, nobody's had gone through a pandemic and had to take a sport out of it too. So I think that right there might be a beautiful selling point when it comes out, because it's like you know, the sport's changed so much since you started, but I mean, what else could they throw at you when you were the executive director? You know, that would just, you know, I mean, everything was, you know, topsy-turvy, upside down, you know?
Yeah. Or, you know, and to be honest, like, and how many mistakes I've made myself, right? Like, I think the beauty and the challenge of roller derby has been that we've learned as we go. And sometimes that means messing up royally. And sometimes that means making really good decisions, and that sometimes means making really hard decisions. So there's a lot of freedom. There has been a lot of freedom in roller derby, and that's both a good and a bad thing sometimes, I guess.
You never made a mistake. No. Come on. I don't know. I never heard anything about you.
Plenty of things are in the book, my friends.
Sure.
There we go.
I love it. If you're just tuning in, it's been a great interview so far, so make sure you go check it out. Thank you for tuning in. We are joined by Erica Van Stone.
Double H.
H, yes, of course. Author of Don't Let Them Eat the Baby, a roller derby memoir. I got to ask, so this is coming out October 14th, right around the corner. You can go to Kickstarter.com and search Don't Let Them Eat the Baby. Definitely buy the book. Check it out. It sounds like it's going to be a great one. You're certainly a valid like authority on the topic, so it's great to see. But you're in pretty good company. You know, some of the other like roller derby authors, Magnum from the Gatekeepers, who's like a 5 or 6 time world champion, Julie Arnold, who an innovator all on her own.
Sure.
You know, so how does it feel to kind of be in a small handful of these derby authors, but certainly one who is a good authority on the topic?
I think it feels great, and I think one of Amy Spears also put out the Ohio
Yep.
memoir.
Yeah, I couldn't think of them all. They were on the show. Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
And, oh my gosh, Derby Nerd put out his book a few years ago. So there's so many writers in the sport. I think it's kind of brilliant for everyone to be able to document what their experience is and to come out with completely different books, right? Like my book is definitely different than everybody else's book is different than everybody
100%.
else's book. And so my publisher put it for sale on Amazon, and
Great.
it's for sale on bananapitch.com and my site ericavanstone.com. But when I saw my book for sale on Barnes and Noble, like
That's pretty cool,
I
right?
cried.
Yeah, that's
I
great.
cried because I was
Yeah.
like, that's the bookstore that I went into
Right,
when
yeah.
I was a kid, and I was like, these giant tables with all
Sure.
these books, and here's my little digital version. It was
Right.
incredible.
No, that's awesome. I'm glad that you're taking time to enjoy it.
Are you going to go out and promote it? I mean, like maybe visit tournaments and sell it there as well. That'd be just a thought, you know.
You had mentioned RollerCon.
Yeah.
Did you get the name out there? Did you have a table and everything, or just get out and
we
talk
sure
to
did.
people?
Yeah.
We sure
Perfect.
did, and I'm going to be putting some ads on a couple of tournaments coming up. But I'm not going to lie, my friends at Toulouse asked me to come and sell at their Capital Clash in France
Nice.
in November, and I'm like, that might have to be one that I do.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
yeah, for sure.
Nice. Very cool.
Oh, I was going to say we are trying to get to South by Southwest in March. So if people want to go to the panel picker and vote for us, my colleague Jane McManus, who wrote this awesome book on women's sports called The Inside Track, we pitched a panel on the two of us talking about our books. So if folks want to vote for us, that would be amazing.
Do you have like the link for that up on your website or anything?
Yes, I do.
Perfect. That's just ericavanstone.com.
Yep.
Awesome. We'll do our best to get that out there as well. Let me ask, what else is going on? I mean, it sounds like, you certainly have a full life. You're getting ready for the release of your book, but what else is up?
So I've gone from playing roller derby to running marathons.
Weird.
Which is like not the life that I think that I expected to lead ever.
So you're like an actual athlete.
Yeah, yes, but also no, but also yes.
Nice. Good for you.
And that's been great. And then Catman it's his last year in high school. So we have to figure out what college Catman is going to go
Nice.
to. And he has an internship goat herding.
I love that.
So he can add that to his college
Yeah, that's going to be
application.
great on a resume, I
Wow.
think, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a difficult job, that like
It is.
that's under pressure right there, getting all the goats where they got to go. So, yeah, no funny business like that is I'm not a goat herder.
Hey, we
I
will.
got nothing.
We will see goats at the New York State Fair this
Yeah,
week.
we've got that
so-
coming up. Yeah, but they're not going to let us herd them, Cash.
I don't think so. I got that.
Herd,
I'm
not
so
hurt.
sorry to hear that.
That's awesome. Cool. So you had mentioned your exit strategy and how you've kind of withdrawn a little bit. You're running marathons now. Do you think how does that feel? Like, do you think you're going to be able to stay away? Do you think do you kind of look at your skates and get that like longing feeling? Tell us how you're feeling about everything.
I don't know that I'm necessarily ready to play. I think my times of playing roller derby were really beautiful and meaningful and the friends that I made on my team and my hashtag Blue Pack Forever, like those are times that I will cherish. I think after a while, what I really started to feel challenged about was just how exhausted I was all the time, right? Like, and I think the cadence of doing, and I was on the B team. I was not on the All-Stars, but I was on Philly's B team. And it was, 3 practices a week. It would be 3 to 4, sometimes 5 hours of practicing.
Sure.
And it got really intense. And I think I'm also so competitive that if I did it again, I would want to do it at that level, which has been the challenge of a lot of people coming back from roller derby that I've talked to. Because in COVID, going into COVID, folks were practicing an incredible amount, like intense schedules. And we knew coming back that wasn't going to be what people wanted to do. But we also knew that in order to have roller derby at the level that it was in 2019, there was eventually going to have to be a conversation about going back to an intensive schedule of training like that. So that, I think, is not a thing I can do anymore. Like, if it tells you anything,
valid.
I'd rather run a marathon than play a game of roller derby.
That is very telling.
And you're not. I mean, there's a lot of people who took COVID as a chance to get away, maybe, and have not come back.
Yeah.
So it's
valid.
Yeah.
You don't know. Oh, you don't know the sport anything. It's totally valid. What's next for you?
So I'm working on a fiction book that I'm about to finish, that I'm pitching my agent, and I'm excited about it. I'm excited to get. I think I had been before working in roller derby, before working in nonprofit. I actually, for a hot second, was like an arts and culture journalist at a local weekly paper. And so nonfiction, I think, has been a little bit easier for me. But lately I've been working in poetry. I have a lot of poems that I've gotten published, and I work with this really awesome group of poets online. Every week we get together and just sort of talk about each other's poems. And then I have a fiction book that I'm working on that is really, really fun. And I'm excited to kind of see what I can do with it.
That's awesome. Very cool. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Why don't you go ahead and hit the plugs one more time? Tell us where people can get the book.
Yes. BarnesandNoble.com.
Yay.
That's an easy one.
Yeah, Amazon. I don't know that the paperback is up on Amazon yet, but the digital is. And Powell's Books. And if you need to see all the links, you can go to my website, ericavanstone.com, or bananapitch.com is my publisher. And Michelle is amazing, so please support her as well.
Awesome. Thank you very much. We'll be sure to check it out.
Hopefully we can get a signed version of it.
Oh yeah, I might know somebody.
Oh, perfect.
There you go.
We would
I could put in a
appreciate
word for you.
Gotcha.
Thank you. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate you.
Super excited for
great
October
catching up.
14th.
Yes, October 14th. Go check
Yay.
out Don't Let Them Eat the Baby, a roller derby memoir. Thanks so much,
Thank
Erica.
you.
You take care.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Have a great Friday night.
Bye.
Bye. All right.
We're going to hit some news before we get out of here, right?
Oh, man. We got enough of it.
I was going to say, we got a ton of it. I will say WFTDH has posted, there's like 4 huge tournaments
I saw
this weekend. There's like 40 sanctioned games going on, something wild like that. Why don't you hit the scores or whichever bit of news you want to
quickly go through closest bouts from last week from WFTDA. We have TCRD losing to Kansas City 181 to 126. That was a 55-point. Let's just get a couple of them in. We have Memphis 181 over the Chattanooga B-Railers 110. And Memphis over the B-Railers as well by 84 points, 167 to 83. The biggest upsets, we had Little City beating MRD B-Sides 175 to 70. And that's all the scores from last week. Don't forget tomorrow. I'll mention this one more time before we get into some of these other ones, but tomorrow, Rock City Roller Derby B-Sides final game of the home season tomorrow at the Dome Manette Center. It is there's two junior games starting at 2:30, and I think the next one's at 4, and then the B-Sides play Saturday at 6 o'clock, and then the home season's over, and it's going to be 90 out. So
Sure, yeah. Dress lightly, I guess.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, Chattanooga Roller Derby is going to wrap up their season. That's going to be Saturday, August 16th at the Camp Jordan Arena. Prices range from $6 to $12. The day schedule kicks off at 3. There's a juniors match. The Chattanooga All-Stars are going to take on Big Easy Roller Derby. Then there's going to be a home team championship game. Little Debbie Downers versus Thicken Nuggets, which is a great name.
What a heck
I
of a
love
name.
that.
We've got TC Roller Derby's having it looks like there's like a handful of teams that are going to be there for the Fresh Coast Frenzy Tournament that this weekend. We got Chicago Style Roller Derby, North Star Roller Derby, Free State Roller Derby, Harrisburg Area Roller Derby, and TC Roller Derby. $10 to $20 to get in, tcrollerderby.com.
Yeah, Vancouver Roller Derby is going to have a multi-day tournament as well, SummerSlam. They've got like SoCal Derby, Greater Vancouver Roller Derby, of course, TV Roller Derby, and the Skatanic Temple.
I was going to say, I do not know what those, those are like their handles.
I couldn't get some of them. I know the Skatanic Temple. I'm actually a member of the Skatanic Temple.
Oh, are you?
It's a group of people who kind of believe in Satanism, or at least the beliefs. You don't necessarily have to be like a Satanist.
Yeah.
My friend Lorelei introduced me to the group.
You know, I remember
I will not
Lorelei.
be going to Vancouver for this game.
Traverse City's got a bunch of games going on this weekend. Traverse City Roller Derby's taking on North Star Roller Derby from Minnesota at noon. Oh, I already mentioned that. That was a TC Roller Derby.
Before we run out of time, real quick, I'll mention again, go check out ericavanstone.com. Search Don't Eat the Baby on Amazon and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you for hanging out with us.
We'll have great stories next week, too, as well.
We're going to go to the fair. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We should be live next week. Maybe not. I got to check my schedule. Don't hold me to any of that.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. But thank you for hanging out with us. It was a great show. We're going to go ahead and get out of here, I think, right?
We'll see you.
We'll see you next week. Bye, guys.